Okay.
Okay, yeah. So as today I just asked you to go ahead and understand. Maybe she is waiting. Let me admit. Yeah, done. So
Okay, sir.
let me present my screen. So just tell me. Yesterday I just asked you guys to have, let's say, 10 minutes browsing on Google, and just understand what is SAP ECC and what is SAP S4 HANA, right? Did you guys get a chance to look at either of you?
Yes, sir, I did.
Yeah, please go ahead. It's right or wrong. You just tell me.
Uh, First of all, ECC full form is central ERP central component,
Correct.
and as we know, its maintenance, mainstream maintenance is terminated. I mean, by 2025, and 2027 is the additional extended maintenance, and it's
Correct.
been the successor of SAP ECC is SAP S4 HANA.
Correct.
So this is also a version of SAP, and it's the
Mm.
latest ERP software that runs on memory database SAP HANA.
Okay.
So the three main availabilities of S4 HANA is it's available on premise, and it's available online, and also on cloud. So
Ah,
it also, I also read up, it using automation, machine learning, and artificial intelligence.
okay.
And however, I did not understand. He said something about SAP Fiori, sir. I'm not sure what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. I'll tell
So
you what does it mean. Yeah. You're going
yeah,
to learn that also. Yeah.
yeah,
Good. Good.
yeah. This is
Okay.
me, sir.
Yo, that's very, very well explained, and I'm very happy that you covered in a high level everything you covered. Okay. So let's understand from Jahnavi. Jahnavi, can you please help me to understand what was your understanding on these topics? She's there in a call? No.
It seems like she has left the call, sir, actually.
Okay. Let us continue. Then she'll join. Anyway, I'm recording. I can share it to her later. Okay. So yeah, in 1972, yes, SAP has started. It's a SAP R1 system. Okay. So they have not succeeded well, but later in 1973, they've come up with SAP R3 system. Okay. R means real-time data processing. Okay. R means real-time data processing. Three means three tiers we discussed yesterday, right? One is a database, and the other one is application server, and other one is a client. So every tier is one pillar to the SAP application. That is where it got succeeded. But so let us think. In 2015 onwards, SAP has SAP ECC successor, as you said, it's SAP S4 HANA, right? SAP S4 HANA. What does it mean and why they come into SAP S4 HANA? Only the big reason is when they are selling SAP application so far, what is the problem is they'll just sell the license of SAP application. Application only they will sell to the client in the sense who is going to buy this application license, we call them as a client. Let's say if you're going you were doing a business, you want SAP application to run in your business, and you negotiate a price with SAP, and you buy an application for SAP. You will become a client. Okay, you are a client, so you're buying their application. What is the problem initially is they'll just sell you only application, but whatever data you are processing on that application, let's say the transactions you do, business perspective, as a consultant perspective, as for a business requirement, you design a system and you build the system and you deliver to the business, right? So whatever transactions are happening, this will be saved in somewhere, right? We call it as a database. What do we call? Database. Like in your mobile, you have an internal storage and external storage also. First, say in computer, you have a RAM and you have a hard disk, temporary memory and permanent memory, right? Likewise, application side also data will be saved in a database. If initially, so 1993 it was successor, right? Sorry, yes, 1993. Okay, so you have to buy application from SAP and database you need to buy from the other vendors. Let's say Oracle, we have a database, okay, and we have a DB2, okay, and we have a Microsoft. These guys, these three companies will provide you database support. What does it mean is, first you have to buy a SAP application license from SAP. Then again you have to negotiate with Oracle or a DB2 or a Microsoft, and you have to buy for a database support also. Let's say if this costs you, let's say 50 lakhs. Okay, I'm rough numbers I'm taking. Additionally, you need to spend 20 lakhs for your database also. With this, what is your total application cost you are spending here? You are spending 70 lakhs, right? So, and we are only talking about a money perspective, but let's say whoever is buying this SAP application, they have to manage, they have to connection with the two vendors. Application related any issue, they have to reach to the SAP team. In case of any data related concern, they have to reach to the database vendors who provided a database. In real time, in a business scenario, it's a tedious job, right? To operate two vendors and get them aligned, get any issue fixed. It's a bit difficult, and also it's a bit of costly, right? Yes or no? Yes, right? We have to buy application
Yes,
separate
sir.
cost. We have to buy a database, and it's costing. So with this,
Yes.
what is happening is in a market. Let's say out of 10 customers, maybe two or three customers will think, hey, why I need to go for SAP application? I have to buy a database separately, application separately. I need to connect, and it's a tedious job for me. I don't want to go for this approach. I'll buy application along with the database whoever are selling in a market. I'll take that application maybe. I don't want this risk. So with this, what is happening? SAP is no losing the business in a market, right? At least one or two customers will go, they'll not take SAP application for this reason, right? Definitely they'll not take. And by selling SAP, it's an application, other vendors are getting benefited. Let's say the database vendors, Oracle is getting benefited, and DB2 is getting benefited, Microsoft is getting benefited, right? Because of SAP. So these many days, based on a client's feedback, SAP thought, why I need to share profit on a database to the other vendors? Why can't I make why can't I build my own database? With that thought, they've started their own research in 2010, maybe before that only. Okay, they've dedicatedly arranged a team to do a R&D, and how can we bring our own database, and how can we connect this database to our application, SAP application. With that thought, finally in 2015, they've built their own database. In 2015, they've built their own database. And while building their own database, they've thought, so in general, in software side, any application, let's say whatever application you buy year ago, so the same application now it will be same, or any additional features will be adding, or the same functionality you see. In general, I'm asking. A year back, you buy one application. Now the application will be now performing, or delivering the same functionalities. Will he sustain in a market? Will he sustain?
No, sir.
Definitely no, right? So
No, sir.
every day, the needs will be changing. Okay, whatever need you have today may be different tomorrow, right? Likewise, everybody has to understand the business day-to-day needs, and they have to build their capabilities. They have to work on upgrades. They have to work on further refreshment, and they have to bring the new functionalities. That is called research and development. Any applications to sustain in a market, to be a top one, back end they should have their research and development, and they have to invent new things, new capabilities, to support a new businesses, everything they has to do. And based on, let's say, after 6 months of development, maybe they'll release the changes. Maybe after a quarter they'll release, after 3 months they'll release the changes, maybe after a year they'll release the changes, likewise. Okay, it is happening in general. If you look back here only in 1972, they have some application they built with some functionality. In 1993, they were renamed as R3. So what is the difference between R1 and R3? Functionalities, right? Functionalities, capabilities. There is a lot change. Likewise, every application will be always done a research and development, and it's a growing everyday basis. Otherwise, they'll not sustain. So, with that explanation, you got to understand in SAP ECC also, this we call it as a SAP ECC, the initial one. Okay. In SAP ECC also, to run until now and further, they were doing the upgrades, and they're inventing new functionalities. If you look back here, so maybe you should know it because you are new to SAP, and you should understand what was the latest version. So we call it as a versions. What are the new functionalities they're bringing year on year? Maybe previous point to the current point. What are they doing? You need to understand. So in SAP ECC, the latest version is 6.0. V stands for version, and in SAP ECC, they've invested version 6.0. It was available in the market from 2006 onwards. Okay, this is the latest upgrade they've done in SAP ECC. Okay, so this can be a like a version name. Okay, in a version they have enhancement package. Let's say point one, point two. You see in let's say in your mobile you have Android, right? In Android is only the no, whatever I say, it's a software, but you have a versions to it, right? They'll add point one, point two, Snapdragon. Likewise, they'll name it and they'll release it, right? What is the previous to current? There could be some theme, there could be some additional security feature. There is something new with the new version, right? Which is advanced. Likewise, EHP 8 is the latest version in SAP S4 HANA, sorry, SAP ECC. So in SAP ECC, version 6.0 and 6.0, EHP 8 was the latest version. EHP 8 was introduced in 2016. Okay. So in 2016, they released EHP 8 version in ECC, and they stopped investing R&D on ECC. Why? Why they've stopped the investment on R&D on ECC side? They've done 2016. This is the final. The later they've stopped. Why? Why? Because 2010 onwards, already they've started working on SAP S4 HANA, right? Yes. So, what is the use if you spend money on the system which is going to dissolve, or which is not going to use further? Do you still want to invest R&D on that? No, right? Nobody will do.
Yes, no, sir.
No, that is the reason you should at least understand when SAP ECC was started 1990s, 1972, and when it was clicked in 1993. What is the version? We call it as a R3 system. What does it mean by R? What are the three tiers: database, application server, and client? And what was the recent version? It's a 6.0. It was introduced in 2006. What is the latest version in 6.0? It is the EHP 8, which was released in 2016. That's all you need from a SAP ECC side. Okay. From from 2015 onwards, we have SAP S4 HANA, right? We have SAP S4 HANA. Then now you think, so far there are many customers in a world using SAP ECC, right? Currently, there are customers or clients, we call it
Yes, sir.
as. There are many customers already using since then SAP ECC 6.0, maybe EHP 7, maybe EHP 8. They're using any of the version as per their need. If they're happy with EHP 7, they'll use EHP 7 only. They don't want EHP 8. If somebody needs EHP 8, they're using EHP 8. What about them? They're already using, they buy SAP application from SAP and they buy database support from either of Oracle, DB2 or Microsoft. They're running their business. What about them, right? So SAP told clearly from 2015 onwards, I've introduced SAP S4 HANA license. Henceforth, I stopped selling SAP ECC license. That is true, right? It's common. So whatever a license you were selling since past, you are stopping selling and you are selling a new license. Why? You don't want to continue. You don't want to invest anything on a previous version, right? That is the reason. Now, if you call SAP, if you have a need, you just take a their number in a Google and you try to reach them and you call for a quotation. They'll give you a quotation on SAP S4 HANA. They'll not give you a quotation on SAP ECC, EHP8 or whatever. They'll not give you. Why? They have a new system to sell, right? They'll say, hey, we stop selling the old system. If you want, we'll negotiate on a new system, new license. Here we are providing database also. So you got it a little bit how the flow is working between ECC and so far how it is turning to SAP S4 HANA,
Yes, sir. I
right?
have a small doubt.
Yeah, yeah. Please go on.
May I, sir?
Yeah, you can.
So, for example, if I'm still using ECC 6.0, and then you have already updated, your company has already updated to S4 HANA. So, would we be able to exchange datas?
Yes, definitely. So you were currently using SAP ECC 6.0, EHP 8 or 7. You still can convert your system easily to SAP S4 HANA new system. Okay, there is a conversion process. Uh, there are processes, real-time processes. We'll discuss in a later time. Yes, definitely, it's easy, right? You are already in the same bus, right? You just have to exchange to the new bus or new capabilities that can be easily converted. So
Oh,
now,
okay, sir.
what is a worry? What is a worry? To answer your question only, what happens if you don't turn to SAP S4 HANA? What does it mean by stopping? I'm stopping supporting SAP ECC by SAP. SAP is saying I'm stopping selling SAP ECC application. It means that it will also stop supporting the clients already using SAP ECC, right? So, simple example, you are trying to book a ticket in any, let's say, IRCTC portal or anywhere you are trying to book any ticket. Okay, due to some reason your money got debited. Okay, you didn't get a success, you didn't get any ticket confirmation. However, you lost the money. Then what is your approach in that situation? What do you do?
I would actually go to customer service and raise a
Correct.
complaint, sir.
Correct. Who is the customer support? The person, yes, it is, who is owning that he has helped us, he has a responsibility to answer, I don't know, solve your query, right? He has to return your money, right? So if I am buy, if I would buy the, I've already bought this SAP ECC application and I'm using it for my business. There is a big issue came. So still I have a SAP consultants in my company. They're well known SAP. Still they cannot able to fix some critical issue where my entire business is halted. Nothing is working in my business. Nobody is there to help me. In that situation, I need an expert who already built a SAP application and who sold me, right? This is nothing but SAP SC, right? SAP SC sold me the SAP application. So far, I'm using since 10 years, 5 years, I'm using it. It's working fine. But due to some unknown error or issue, my entire business is stopped working. In that case, what I supposed to do? I have to reach to the SAP, right? SAP SC, this company who sold me the SAP license. I have to reach them. Hey, they cannot say, hey, we are also not sure how to fix this issue. Will they say? No, right? They'll not say. They'll not say, right? Because they know enter A to Z process. They know they're the inventors. They know where the problem comes, how to fix the problem. They have a too much knowledge with them, right? Yes or no? Yes,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah, yeah. What does mean is currently the customers who are using SAP ECC, if SAP says, hey, I've stopped supporting you SAP ECC after let's say 2025 is the last. Let's say here only will put 2025. After 2025, we will not support SAP ECC application. If SAP made this statement, so the customers so far using SAP ECC, they'll be worried, right? Because of this unknown errors to fix,
Yeah.
they'll obviously worry, right? It will happen in real time. As I am also a consultant, later you will
Yes.
become a consultant. We are not gods. We don't know entire, right? End to end, we cannot resolve it. Nobody. If you have a 20 years experience also, there is a room to learn still. You don't know. You might not have having a knowledge on that area. But in that cases, to safeguard you, SAP has to provide a support because this sell you the application. They'll charge extra for solving your issue. That is secondary. However, taking a money and solving also matter, right? We want our business to run. If business is stopping for a minute, it will be lost in a crores, right? Or does nothing will happen. You just assume Amazon in Amazon application, so nothing is working and nobody is able to book anything for a 5 minutes. Do you think is it a small thing or it's a big loss for Amazon? It's a big loss only, right?
Yes, sir.
Likewise. So with this statement, the current persons, let's say current clients or customers who are using SAP, they've reached SAP and they've asked, hey, 2025 is a very short time. Okay. So please extend furthermore.
Hmm.
Okay. So they've requested, everybody requested. Then final call, SAP told 2027 is the last year that I will support SAP ECC. Further, no support. You got it? So after
Yes, sir.
2027, if anybody still using SAP ECC, if any issue comes, if you reach SAP, SAP says, no, boss, I've stopped. I have stopped no, supporting SAP ECC. Already I've told. As a no, as a responsibility, who all are by the SAP application, there is a written communication already reached everybody. Okay, there is a communication. They have to give a communication, right? The persons who already buy the license, already they got the information. So with this statement, nobody will keep their radar until 2027, right? What they'll do before
Hmm.
2027 only, they will convert their system. They will convert their SAP ECC to SAP S4 HANA, right? They'll convert. So from 2025 onwards, new customers or clients will buy new or latest SAP S4 HANA. So with these two statements, you should have one understanding in your mind by now. So if you now you are learning, you are aiming to learn SAP S4 HANA, but still in market, you will have a chance to get to work on SAP ECC until 2027, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right? So
Yes.
2027 till 2027, customers still use their SAP ECC application, but I'm learning SAP S/4HANA. How would I manage this? I am not sure which project I'll get, which customer I may work. I don't know. It can be SAP S/4HANA, SAP ECC, right? Okay. To answer this
Hmm.
question, to answer this question, in SAP S/4HANA, the main things. What are the things they have changed? I'll tell you. The first one is a database. The intent was database changing only, right? Their intention is to change their database.
Yes.
The second point is, anyway, I'm changing a database. Why can't I modelize my system? Let's say I want to bring the screens, let's say the graphical, the screen, whatever you are seeing, this Excel. Likewise, in a business, SAP screens will be, let's say, I want to give a nice experience to the users. By seeing that, let's say, in a theme, you have a themes in your mobile, right? Maybe one theme can attract you more, right? One theme maybe not attracting you. So likewise, they've
Hmm.
given user interface. Okay, user interface in a sense, user experience we call it as experience, user experience. So you asked me, right, sir? I heard a Fiori, right?
Hmm.
What is
Hmm.
Fiori? You asked, right? A Fiori is user
Yes, sir.
interface only. The screens, what are the news themes, there is something, let's say, with the Fiori, in simple term, now I'm telling, maybe later I'll explain you in detail. With the Fiori,
Hmm.
in a mobile or in your tablet also, you can operate, you can perform your activities while you're traveling. Maybe you're traveling, right? If you have an internet and you
Hmm.
connect it through any tablet or any mobile, in mobile, you can operate your business activities based on your roles. That is possible with SAP S/4HANA. Nowadays, everything is IoT, right? Internet of Things. If you have internet, you can do
Hmm.
anything from anywhere, right? So, to
Hmm.
get a more customers in a market, obviously SAP has to do that, right? That is the reason they've introduced Fiori. Okay, so we'll talk about later
Okay.
one by one point more. But the third one is, anyway, I'm working on database. I'm remodeling my database. I'm giving a more user experience, including that. Why can't I give a external functionalities, additional functionalities, right? Additional functionalities also I'm giving. So database. So we are just comparing now SAP S4 HANA versus SAP ECC, right? We're just comparing. Okay. So does it anything affect you database? Whatever functionality you learn SAP ECC and SAP S4 HANA. In terms of no, functional knowledge you are learning, is there anything to do with the database? Are we doing any database thing? Are we setting up any database? From our job roles perspective, no, right? We are not doing anything on database, right? Do we? No. But
No, sir.
database side, what is happening? That is an application component, which is inbuilt, which is connected to the application. Based on the database changes, there is some tables, there is some stuff which is related to us. But database is nothing to worry as a functional consultant. We are the functional consultants. But database is something as an application setup, we no need to bother. Yes, here user experience, okay, which is a Fiori. Fiori is a new thing. If you learn Fiori, you were able to work in SAP S4 HANA very easily. You don't feel like it's a new thing to you. It is an additional thing. If you learn SAP Fiori, this Fiori anyway, you don't see it in SAP ECC. So you no need to worry, right? Yes or no? These
Hmm.
two things are available in SAP S4 HANA. If these two are present in SAP ECC and not present in SAP S4 HANA, you need to worry, right? You are learning these two addition to SAP ECC, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Additionally, you are learning. You are not missing anything. You are learning additional things. And functionalities wise also, whatever functionalities you have in SAP ECC, addition to it, let's say 15 to 20% additional functionalities are adding in SAP S4 HANA. They are not removing, they are adding additional 15 to 20% functionalities in SAP S4 HANA. With this, you by now
Hmm.
understood. If you learn SAP S4 HANA, you can work on SAP S4 HANA projects. You can also work on SAP ECC project until 2027, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? At this point, if you learn SAP ECC, you may able to work on SAP ECC projects only. If any project comes on SAP S4 HANA, again you have to spend, let's say, 20 days or 1 month time to learn what are the new things in SAP S4 HANA. Then you have to learn and you have to do, right? Yes or no?
Hmm. Yes.
Jahnavi, are you following?
Yes, sir.
So that is where if you learn SAP S4 HANA, you are learning advanced version and still you'll be able to support SAP ECC also till 2027. That is the intention, and overall, these are the things which are changed or which are introduced in SAP S4 HANA. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Understood or no? Now we'll go.
Yes.
Understood, sir.
Today, our focus is to understand the big things between SAP S4 HANA and SAP ECC. That is what we are targeting today. Okay. So again, one more thing. I forgot. Neha told. Okay. One more thing Neha told. There is a releases. There are releases. Let's say one she told on premise. The other one she told cloud. The other one she told online, which is not online. It's a hybrid. What is it? It's a hybrid. These all are
Hybrid.
the yeah. These are the versions available in SAP S4 HANA. So any customer is buying SAP license for their business. They have no option to choose. These three options they can choose. They want to choose. They wanna go for an on-premises license. This is one type of cost. If they want to buy cloud license, it will be some cost. If they want to go for a hybrid in a sense, it's a combination of on-premises and cloud. So that costs you different price. It's a based on your business requirement and how much budget you have to buy a license. It depends on that. But functionality wise, what does it mean? What is on-premises? On-premises is it's a yearly version. Every year there is a on-premises release. Let's say now we are in 2022, right? Now in a market, on-premise 2021 is available. On-premise 2021 is available. Premise. If you want to buy on-premises 2021, what are the capabilities available in 2021 on-premises? If you buy this license, until you upgrade your system, you can only use what are you are buying currently. In simple, in this application, I have, let's say, some capabilities. You wish to buy that capabilities by now with on-premises license. Until you update your system again, you can use only these capabilities only. That is on-premises release. On-premises release in a sense, fixed functionalities. Whatever you are buying, that functionalities will only exist. Later, if you want to upgrade your system to the latest version or you want any additional capabilities, again you need to reach to the SAP and you ask for the upgradation. Again, that is a extra charge for you. You got it?
So upgradation as in enhancement అంటే versions లో ఇప్పుడు మనకి enhancement ఉంది కదా సార్ అలానా?
Correct. Let's say now you thought what are the capabilities available in on-premises. I am happy with this. Whatever business I am doing to run my business, the capabilities present in on-premises 2021 are fulfilling. Then I am taking this version only. This license I am buying. This is a reasonable price. I am happy with this. I bought this. Over a period after 2 years, there is an additional request in my business. This on-premises 2021 is not that much supporting. I need additional feature from maybe on-premises 2022, which is not at came. Later it will come. I need that functionality. Then what they have to do, they cannot inbuild their self in the application, right? They have to reach SAP again. Hey, we want this capability to be enabled in my system. How much you charge? They'll say some price. There is an activity to perform, and they have to bring that capability or functionality to be enabled for their business. You got it?
Yes sir.
So it's you remember always when everybody is talking in a market, if they're talking about they buy on-premises license, you think every year there is a one release on on-premises. On-premises, there is one release. Now let's talk about a cloud.
Yes sir.
Every quarter, there is one release. Every quarter there is a one release in a sense. Every year, how many releases? There are four, right?
Yes sir.
Yes. So here,
Yes.
this license includes hardware cost and it manages by SAP only. System will be up to date. You have a budget. You are not worrying on a budget. Your more concern is you want to deliver latest capabilities functionality to your business. You are that kind of client. Let's say you are a BMW, okay, or you are a Mercedes Benz. When you're buying this SAP application, your intent was to always I want whether I use or no, I want my system to be updated version. Okay, I don't want to bother my business people. I want to use every time updated version from you. Tell me, do you have any license? Yes, we have a license called Cloud Release. If you buy Cloud Release, every quarter we do one release. In a year, four releases we do. If you buy this application, it costs you more, but it includes hardware cost also. Hardware cost in a sense, database will be maintained. To maintain your database, you need so much of hardware equipment also. If you go to any shopping malls anywhere, any companies, if you see there is a room where this set up their servers and they connect everything. There is a lot of hardware equipment also, right? There will be big lights will be seen from window restricted areas like that. So you no need to bother about hardware cost also. Hardware cost also includes with this license, and your system will be up to dated. You no need to bother. That will take care of you. This license we call it as a cloud release. Got it? What is the difference between on-premises and cloud? You guys tell me. Hello? Then the next one is hybrid version. Hybrid version in a sense, it's a combination of on-premises and cloud. Okay. So while you are making a deal with SAP, you can have a combined license also. You can have a combined license also. If you're buying combined license, it will be around the average cost it will be, but up to the business decision. Why I'm telling this, at least as S4, SAP S4 HANA, you are starting working. So you should know this terminology. That is my intent to tell you. But in real world, we are not going to see this, let's say, on-premises, cloud, or hybrid version, where the deal is doing, let's say, our client is doing a discussion with SAP partners. Oh, we nowhere involved on this. Okay, this is up to the business. But what is our role is, irrespective of version, whatever version they buy, they run, whatever functionality needed for their business, that functionality we have to understand, we have to configure, and we have to deliver. So I'm telling you, any license if they buy, okay, the common necessities for every business will be same, right? Whatever business you are doing, but your common needs are same for everybody, right? That common functionality is anyway available in any version. It could be on premises, it could be cloud, it could be hybrid version, any version. 99.9% functionalities what business needs are available. Additional, let's say, we call it in our personal life, maybe we go for luxuries, right? Okay, luxuries in the sense we need additional features. We can still run our business without those functionalities also, but good to have that kind of difference only in simple words. Got it?
Yes,
Got
sir.
it? It's a mix of on-premise and cloud. Now, again, there is one more word in a market you always hear in terms of cloud. What is public cloud and what is private cloud? Did you guys heard anything about this?
No,
Maybe
sir.
now you know
No,
cloud.
sir.
Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, definitely you will hear public cloud and private cloud. Okay, public cloud, private cloud in a sense. Simple terminology is. So what is happening in a cloud? In a cloud, your data is getting stored, right? Your client's data will be getting stored in a cloud. Cloud is nothing but a database. What is it? It's a database. In a cloud, data is getting saved. Public cloud, in a sense, we have a common resource. Let's say I have 4 technicians. Okay, I rent one building. Okay, I set up hardware equipment here. I set up LANs, WANs, everything, and I connected your application to this building. And here I am managing this entire security with this 4 technician. Uh, Here, if you go for a public cloud, let's say here I'm saving a data of BMW. Let's say I'm saving Reliance. I'm managing Tata Motors also, and also I'm managing, let's say, Wipro. So in this building, I'm managing these many 4 clients data. I'm managing with 4 technicians. What these guys will do? These guys will always take care of the firewalls, uh, make sure data is no saving perfectly. Safer side, they'll also have a backups. Every data, so they'll not save in one place only. Safer side, they'll take a copy and they'll store in a warehouse systems also. They'll keep it a copy and make sure nobody is hacking our data. There is no data leakage. And so everything is, let's say, security wise also. Let's say building has a nice security. There will not be any fire damage. There will not be anything happen. Nothing happens. It's very protected place. But the same cost, whatever cost I'm spending for these 4 technicians, for this building, whatever other cost I have there, among the clients, let's say if the 4 clients are sharing that building, hey, okay, here also data is not compromised. In a sense, BMW data will not mix up with Reliance, Reliance data will not mix up with Tata Motors, nothing. It's just the place, only one place. We are having a combined workforce to manage different clients' data. so that they'll get the service little less price, and we'll also get the benefit. That is the motive of this public cloud. Okay, so simple. If you want to travel from Vijayawada to Hyderabad, there are options, right? you can go by you can go by flight. Okay, you can go by flight. In a sense, in a flight you can travel with the public. Its cost is less price in the sense it's a reasonable price. If you want a dedicated flight to go, or a no, chopper to go, it's very costly, right? You are traveling alone.
Yes, sir.
You are traveling alone. Your common objective is to travel to Hyderabad, but there are options. What is the option? You want to go by bus, you want to go by train, you want to go by public, let's say sharing, let's say common flight, you want to go. That is up to you. If you're traveling along with somebody, you're sharing price and it's a reasonable price. This license we call it as a public cloud license. So somebody will say, "Hey, I don't wanna travel. I don't wanna go by this and that. I need a dedicated. Let's say I'll book a separate cab and I'll go Hyderabad." So the price for the person who traveled in a common bus is very much different to the person who go in a cab, right? Yes or no? Here,
Yes.
there's 4 technicians I need.
Yes, sir.
This rental building I need. But here I'll only keep, let's say, Infosys data. This Infosys told, "Hey, uh, I know it, but I want a private cloud. I want a privacy. Only my data to be no separately handled." Okay, it's okay. I am happy to pay more money. It's up to the clients. Whatever a license they buy, whatever kind of whether they want to go for a public cloud, they want to go for a private cloud, that is up to them. They can still go ahead. There is no issue, right? But you just understand, right? This terminology.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in interest of time, there is a lot to discuss on a database, theory, functionalities wise. We need to talk more, and also a few more things we need to discuss. Let's say till 2027, we have SAP ECC, but already from 2020, 2015 onwards, SAP S4 HANA is in a market. Can the SAP users, SAP customers can use latest S4 HANA database, or still they want to use, they use Oracle DB2 or Microsoft? There are main important things we need to discuss. We'll discuss them in our next class. Okay, in terms of application side, right? Got
Yes,
it?
sir.
Now, just I'll just introduce you. Maybe I'll just take 10 minutes of time. I'll just give you a brief, and let's close the class for today. Okay. So our point is whether it's SAP ECC or SAP S4 HANA, we are going to learn 2 modules, which is FI, the other one is CO. So what do you know about FI and what do you know about CO? Did you get any chance to go through? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Janavi, do you want to go first?
No, you can continue.
So basically, FI is financing and CO is costing. So we have general ledgers, accounting, and bank accounting, travel management, and an organization. Basically, in organizations, finances and other stuff are managed in FI. I'm not sure about COC.
Okay. Okay. So, Jahnavi, can you please tell me what do you know about FI?
Yes, sir. As we have discussed earlier, FI in the sense financial accounting or information, and CO in the sense controlling or management accounting. So
Okay.
FI is used for external reporting purpose, sir, like profit and loss account or balance sheet.
Okay.
For external reports, FI module will help us.
Okay.
CO in the
Okay.
sense controlling or management account, and it is used for internal reports purpose and planning or decision making, budget purpose, etc.
Perfect. So most of the people will learn SAP. Initially, they'll hear these words. Okay. Definitely, whoever trainer is teaching, they'll say, what is the purpose of FI module? What is the purpose of CO module? But over a period of time, they'll forget the purpose. Still, they're working. They'll work. Okay. That is bad. I want you guys to understand and remember the importance also. So whatever object we are working, we are our common object is to deliver something to the business, right? Without that common objective or a common goal, will not work, or they'll not ask you to work also, and you will not learn also, right? Why we are learning? We have to deliver something to the business. That is the intent. We have chosen this SAP course and we are learning. So let's say, so my humble request, who are not talking, can you please go on mute? Which is used for internal reporting, which is decision making, budgeting, planning. So it's a kind of internal only. Let's talk about financial information or accounting, which is used for external reports. So maybe if you know or don't know, one of the most important external reports are your profit and loss account and balance sheet account. Okay. So a simple question I'll ask you, tell me, hey, you are doing a business in India, or maybe you are doing business in US. It doesn't matter. You are doing a business. Okay. If you're doing a legally business, what supposed to you do at, let's say, at the end of a physical year end, after doing a 12 months of business, what do you do? What is your common object you have to do mandatorily? You know it or don't know?
We have to submit the earnings and
Correct. To whom do we need to submit the earnings and your liabilities or assets?
Public.
Correct.
the
First, not a public.
tax department is the public.
Correct. This is a profit and loss. This is a balance sheet contains assets and liabilities. Okay. So as you guys said rightly, if you're doing a business legally, I'm talking legally. Okay. Any country, if you're doing a business, out of a business, what are you going to get? Either you get a profit or you get a loss. If you get a profit, you have to pay a tax based on a government, their local statutory government's rules. They define, hey, if you get this profit, you have to pay this much percentage of tax. So, if let's say we'll take example of India, I'm doing a legally business here. There is a financial year, we call it as a fiscal year, right? You know what is a fiscal year uh, in India? Physically, in a sense, 12 months of a 12 months period, which is used for a business. Anyone know?
April 1st to March 31st, sir.
Correct. So it's not only for a business. You think whatever revenue you earn on a salary or a professional services, whatever earnings you get in these 12 months, let's say April 1st to next year 31st March, you have to pay a tax to the government in India, income tax department, right? If it is in a US, we need to pay a tax to the federal government. You say like, hey, I'll do a business in India, but I'm interested to pay tax in US. Is that possible? Indian government will agree?
No.
No, right? No. That is a common thing you need to understand. Wherever you do a business, wherever you earn money, there locally you need to pay a tax. That is a simple funda. How government knows this guy has done this much business, this guy has not done this much business? What is the proof? To get the proof, you need to prepare. profit and loss account and balance sheet account. By seeing these two reports, we can understand whether your business is going fine or whether your business is going in losses. This report will help you. So, in order to get this external reports, you need to activate a FI module. Not only in SAP application, you talk about any ERP applications, their FI is a main critical thing. Without external reports, they cannot run their business, right? Hey, I have not activated FI module. I don't know my PNL balances and balances. If you say this reason, the government of India income tax department will agree? No, right? Will agree? Nobody will agree.
No, sir.
No. That is the reason you understand in SAP application, among the products, each product we call it as a module. We are learning FI and CO module. FI module is a core module. Without knowing these external reports, nobody activates, right? Nobody will activate any other module. If your management want to see how much profit, how much sales I have, they need a report, right? They need an external report, right? So external report out of FI module only generating. And also, you just compare with the other department jobs. Let's say you talk about a marketing. So, what is the objective of marketing department? They want to show our brand in the market, and they have to get a more orders so that we can get more sales. So, the out of a sales, we'll get the revenue. So, to do this, what they'll do, maybe they'll conduct some events, workshops, they'll do some advertisements. Ultimately, what they incur, they'll come up with some expenses, right? I conducted this event. I spent 10 lakhs rupees. That 10 lakhs rupees finally where it will come and land in your FI module, right? As the expenses in a P&L account, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In a business, wherever, whatever transaction, whatever business activity happens in any other department, anywhere, always remember the final impact will be in your FI module on your external reports. If you buy an asset, if you buy an asset for, let's say, production department, you buy an asset for a production department, machinery, big machinery you buy. So, machinery will not come without paying a money, right? Money is from FI module, right? Yes or no? Let's take about HR module. You recruit a people. What you have to do? You have to pay a salary, right? Again, salary is from where? FI module, right? You got it. So because in any SAP, not in SAP, any ERP application, FI module is highly integrated with the other modules. Without FI module, no ERP application will be configured or established. Highly impossible. And also, why we call it as external reports? These reports you can refer. You are doing a business. You can look your profit and loss and your assets and liabilities. You can do business further as you wish. And also, including you, you mandatorily have to submit to the income tax departments. And also, you gone for a public issue. You are selling your shares in a share market. So I have some money. Let's say I buy one share of your company. I still have a right to see always your profit and loss account and balance sheet, your external reports I can access. I have to access. You should add these external reports in your company portal, annual reports. You have to mandatorily publish after completing an audit. With whatever reports you submit to the government, income tax department, the same report should be accessible to the everybody, whoever is having interest on your company. Let's say I didn't buy, but I wish to buy your shares. What is the research I'll do? I'll just compare your last 5 years, maybe 10 years financial reports, how much year on year growth you have, month on month growth you have. Based on that, I'll take a decision. Without this external information, I'll not able to guess it, right? Am I able to guess it or no?
No, sir.
That is the reason we name it and we call them as a external reports. including you, everybody has access to view these reports. Mandatorily, every company which they are doing legal business, they have to publish their external reports after 12 months of business every financial year. That is the reason FI module is very much important. In real time also, all other consultants will come and work with you, and you have a priority at work. Priority in the sense, ultimately other modules will be integrated and final entry, final the impact will be on your module, right? To test their functionality also, you need to help them out, right? The data has to flow to your system, your module correctly. If it is not flowing correctly, means there's something going wrong, right? Now you understand what is the importance of FI module and why are we doing this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubts, still you ask me. I'm happy to clarify. So this is a base. We should have a base correctly. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So later, if you have any concerns, also maybe we will discuss later on. But for now only, it should be crystal clear only. These are the basic information, right? We have not started anything. This is a generally we are discussing. Next, coming to the controlling. Controlling is nothing but a management accounting. And in name itself, it is self-explanatory. It is telling it's a management accounting. Management in a sense, this is for you only. You are doing a business. This report helps you to control, plan, take a decision, and forecasting better. Forecasting also. So everything talking about your future only. This is okay. With the controlling model, internal reporting will be done. Internal reporting in a sense, you no need to show these reports to anybody, nor a government, nor a shareholders, nor a public. Nobody will ask you. These reports will help you to take a decision. I'll tell you one simple example. So every month there is administration expenses in your office building. 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. Every month it will happen average 20,000. If the person who is making this, or who is arranging this administration expenses, if he thought nobody is monitoring these expenses, I want to do some fraud in it. Get some fraud bills and I'll take a hike of, let's say, maybe this month I'll submit 50,000 admin expenses. Okay, he'll submit some fake bills and he'll get the money, and he was doing a cheating. Okay, you tell me, if nobody is monitoring the cost, is it possible in organizations or no? Very much possible. Very much possible. If you're not monitoring something, definitely in that area there will be a fraud will be happen. Okay, to avoid that, if you have a controlling, you are managing your cost also. There is a dedicated person to monitor administration expenses. You assign somebody to monitor. What he will do, he will see every month what is the expenses, what are the expenses, how the expenses are flowing. All of a sudden, why there is a increase in administration expenses? Why 30,000 is a variance? Then he'll go back and he'll ask the person who raised these expenses. Hey, can you please justify me why you have done 50,000 expenses? What you made to have these expenses? Then that person, what he'll tell, hey, I've done this, and he'll get that fake bills also. But reality is untouched, and it's visible to everybody, right? So by comparing, they'll ask clearly, what have you bought? Okay, this you bought. How many cases you bought? Why it was this much price? This price is high, and this much quantity you didn't buy. If you buy this much quantity, tell me how many employees are there? They have not used this much quantity. They can defend. There will be argument, and finally it will be noticed as a fraud, and there will be action against him. But how does this happen? If you track your expenses, if you monitor your expenses internally, what is happening, then only you come to know, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is the reason in simple controlling module is needed. And again, this month overall you are doing your business. Let's say every month you should have a planned budget, right? You should have a planning, right? You should have a budgeting. Budgeting in a sense, I wanna run my business for this 12 months. I at least need to have a 50 crores of working capital. How I get to know it? Based on the previous year numbers, right? Previous year I did this much revenue. I've done this much sales. In order to do this much sales, I spent this much money. This was my operating expenses. This much my working capital. So if you have a budget, you can do your business without tension, right? Yes or no? If you don't have a working capital, is it happily doing business or no? It's not that easy, right? You should have a planning. Next, coming to the planning, again every month we'll split the your business planning. Let's say, hey, every month in this department I might get this much expenses. If you have a plan before only, if your actual expenses are going beyond that, as I told you in the previous example, your internal report will show you variance. So you plan for this much value only, but your actual values are going beyond. So then there will be a radar, right? There will be a trigger. We'll concentrate on the variances. Why there are variances? We'll drill down, we'll go back, and we'll understand the real reason. So forecasting in a sense, maybe next coming year, coming year, next 5 years, where I'll be, how my business will be, everything I get to know. And also I'm doing business in different countries. From which country, in which region, which location, I'm doing business good. I'm getting more profits. Where I'm doing business less, but cost is going high. That comparison also possible with controlling module. So this controlling module helps to shape your business to take a right decision at a right time. This is for internal management purpose. This is for external reporting purpose. You want to activate your internal reporting or no, that is up to you. But you mandatorily to activate F5 module. Without F5 module, your ERP license will not be enabled for you. No need to, there is no use. Nobody will do that. And whatever configuration as F5 consultant you do, you have to do it before. Before, in a sense, you are the starter. You have to complete your activities, then parallelly other functional consultants, other departments will do their configuration in a SAP system. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I thought for today this is enough.